Hello everyone, welcome to the next session. In this session, we are going to discuss about the concept of down counter. Basically, we have already discussed about the concept of up counter. The same thing we are going to implement, but now this is for the down counter. So as and when you are going to use the down counter, at least you should aware about the use of down counter, in which condition and how we can use and implement the down counter by designing the program. In the previous session, we have discussed we don't need to put the value of accumulator in the up counter. Okay, so whatever the value which the counter will count in the online mode, so that will be the accumulator value in the up counter. But in case of the down counter, you can observe the something different. The name itself indicates the down counter means what? It count in a decremental order. Means there will be the countdown operation. So as you all have observed the concept of traffic signal, in the traffic signal also, so whatever the delay which which we have observed, which is in the reverse order, in the 50, 59, 58 likewise. Okay, so we can see the countdown operation. The same thing you can implement by using the down counter also. So for that purpose, here you can see the data file. In the data file, you will get the separate data file for your counter, but you are not getting any separate data file for your down counter. For the up counter and for the down counter, the data file that will be same. But remember that if you are using counter for the different operations, make sure that the addresses that should be different, should not be repeated. So here you can see the bits are given. CD bit for the down counter, we can see countdown bit. Basically the use of this bit is to show the indication of manufactured product, okay, or along with that we can see the indication of the current ongoing operation. Means when the sensor detect the object, so accordingly countdown bit will give you the indication. When the sensor is in off state, CD bit or the countdown bit will not operate. Now coming to the done bit, basically the done bit concept which we have already discussed in the previous session, the same thing we will have to implement in case of the down counter. So as we have already discussed when and how the done bit will work in case of the up counter, the same thing will happen in case of the down counter also. Means what? When the preset value is greater than the accumulator value, in that case, so what will be the status of done bit? Then done bit will be turned off. And when the preset equals to accumulator, in that case, your done bit that will be turned on. Okay. Same condition we have to implement in case of the down counter also. But again, you can observe some different bit in case of down counter, that is nothing but U and means the underflow bit. Underflow means what? If your counter is counting beyond the limit, okay, means the beyond the limit means what? Basically, you should be aware about the maximum counting limit of your down counter. That is nothing but minus 32768. So here I am writing just for your understanding. Down counter, and the maximum limit that will be maximum limit that will be minus 32768. So this is the maximum limit for the down counter. Means if beyond this limit your counter is counting the some value, some number, some events, some data, anything, okay, in that case what will happen? We can see the underflow. So in the underflow, what you are observing, you can observe the fault, you can observe the some the different conditions, means unexpected conditions. Okay, means we can see all these conditions will be wrong conditions. So immediately we need to reset the program in order to remove the error. So if such things are happen. Okay. Now let us see here in timer counter section, you will get the CTD, means what the down counter. So here I am providing the addresses. So addresses that will be common for up counter as well as for the down counter. Okay. So here some default name maybe which I have used for the any program. So if you want, you can change this name also. So if someone wants to use your own description for your own project, so you can change accordingly here. Now here I'm just providing the countdown operation. Countdown countdown operation. Okay, see, now here you can observe the preset. The preset, that is nothing but the the product which you are going to manufacture, or the maximum the limit for that particular project. For example, if you are going to manufacture 4 different products, so your preset value that will be 4. If you are going to count the number of vehicles, if it is 7, so your preset value that will be 7, right? So accordingly you needs to set the preset value. Now here I'm putting the small number 2 only, and the accumulator obviously we have already discussed, but in case of the down counter, make sure that your accumulator value that should be known. Why? Because if you are not putting anything in the accumulator, obviously your counter will count the negative integer numbers, the 0, -1, -2, -3, and we don't want it. So that is the reason accumulator value that should be known in case of the down counter, right? So here I'm putting the number that will be 2, because obviously if we have to manufacture the number of products, okay, and if we know all these things, so definitely the value of accumulator that will be same as the preset number or the preset value. Now coming to the input, what will be the input to our counter? In the most of the cases, in the manufacturing unit, in the process control, we need to provide sensor as a input to the counter. In some cases, the counter beat, timer beat may be the input to your counter. Remember. So here I am providing the sensor as an input. So here some default addresses are here. So here I'm using one proximity sensor to detect the object. The use of proximity sensor is to detect the object. For example, object may be anything, that will be car, your manufactured product. So depending upon the type of material which you are using for manufacturing your products. Okay, so for example, if you are manufacturing the products which are the plastic, okay, maybe sometime what happened, if you are using the plastic material, or if you are using the metal, accordingly we need to change the type of sensor. So basically for the plastic material, we have a very appropriate choice, that is nothing but the capacitive proximity sensor. And for the metal type, you can go with the inductive proximity sensors. So along with that, so many sensors are available. You can also use the IR, means the infrared sensor also. Okay, anyway, it's up to you. As per the application and the project, we need to select the appropriate type of sensor. Okay, so right now here we are using the proximity sensor, which we have connected to the entry gate. ENG means what? It's a short form, entry gate. Okay, now coming toward the operation of the done bit. So for that purpose, we need to understand the use of status bit, okay, which comes under the down counter. So in the data file, just click on the counter, and here just select it, drag and drop. Okay, it's very simple, drag and drop. Okay, now so all these are the input status bit. So basically we need to provide the output address or the output coil in order to know the status of all these 3 inputs. Okay, see, so here I'm providing the indicator 1, indicator 2, and the last one here I'm connecting the footer. Okay, see, so as per the requirement, you can connect the any output for your project. Okay, so here we are just understanding the concept of down counter, means how to use and what will be the operation of down counter, right? So here for the CD bit, we have connected the green indicator, means it will show you the current ongoing operations. Okay, means if it is in on condition, so definitely your operations, whatever the operations, that will be properly going on the field. Okay, but if not happen, then accordingly we will have to go there and find out the fault. Right now here I have connected the red indicator. Okay, so maybe as per your choice, you can change the type of indicators. Also here, I'm connecting the blue indicator. Okay, blue indicator. So blue indicator means, or it shows that your work has been completed. Okay, your work has been completed. So maybe in this case you can observe we have already put the value of accumulator. It means that in the initially we will get the output from done with directly. Okay, because so as and when you are going to perform the counter operation by using the down counter, so obviously value of accumulator that should be known, and on initial stage you will get the direct output from the done bit. Okay. Now coming toward the hooter. So hooter here we have connected because when the counter counts beyond the limit, in that case we must be aware about this faulty conditions. Okay, so for that purpose we need to connect the hooter here. Okay, means just for your understanding, if the and do and wait, I'm just writing shortly, if okay, when you and wait is turn on, so means what we can see it, counter counts, counter count beyond the limit, beyond the limit. So maybe, so you can write it down like this, minus 32768 or minus 32768. So this is the number which you need to remember, right, for the down counter. Now let us see the operation, but the most important thing which you should know, that is nothing but, so as and when you are going to use the counter in your program, we have to compulsory add the reset output file. Okay, because if you want to repeat this process again, so without reset switch it is completely impossible. Because so as and when you are cutting the power supply or interrupting the power supply, in that case also the counter bit will not reset. Okay, so that is the reason. So here we used to connect the reset switch in order to reset that particular operation. So in maximum cases we need to press this reset switch manually. So that's why I have provided here description manual operation. Now for the output, obviously that is nothing but the output or the address of our counter. So here we have provided the address C5:0. Now just verify and let's see the program. See. Now here you can see, as per the discussion, here you can observe the output from the done bit, because here the condition of done bit is fulfilled. When the preset equals to accumulator, done bit that will be turned on. Now here you can see the blue indicator is turned on. Okay, so maybe in the upcoming sessions I will show you the interfacing of the LM Bradley PLC with the SCADA along with this or for these projects. Okay, see, now here you can see, let us assume that sensor detects the, if when the sensor detecting the any object, for example here you can see sensor has detected the object. Now accordingly you can see the countdown operation. Initially the value of accumulator that was 2, but right now it is 1. Okay, this is only because of the countdown operation. Now here you can see the operation of the done bit. The done bit is not operated because the value of accumulator is less than as compared to preset. But every time you will get the indication from the count bit. This is only because we are using the countdown bit for the same thing. Okay, now here I am, let us consider the sensor has sensed the object again. Now here you can see the value of accumulator is 0 now. Okay, but we are not getting any output from U and B. Okay. The sensor will be turned on only when the target is there, otherwise sensor will be turned on. Okay, And when sensor sense the any object, accordingly it will send pulse to the counter and counter will count it. Okay, but here in this case it is exactly reverse because this is the down counter. And so what happen if the sensor counts the or send the pulse continuously? Here we are getting the negative numbers and we don't want it. So that is the reason we need to compulsory provide the accumulator value. Okay, in most of the cases, we are using the down counter with the up counter. Maybe in case of the car parking, in the upcoming sessions, we are going to discuss about the car parking as well. Right? Okay. Now let us understand the concept of underflow. So underflow means what? When counter counts the beyond the limit. Okay. Means here I'm just putting the number because we don't have this much of time. Means if I'm turning on and turning off the sensor, so it will take too much time. So instead of doing this, I'm just putting the number here directly -32767. Okay, let us see. Now here in this case you can observe you are not getting any output from the underflow because counter is counting within the limit. See, not 8. But when counter count the number beyond this, so now you can see here we are getting the positive number in the countdown operation. Okay, positive number in countdown operation, and that is completely wrong. So as we have already discussed, when the preset is less than the accumulator, in that case what will happen? The done bit that should be turned on, but here we are not getting any output from the done bit. It means that this is the faulty condition and we have to immediately reset this program and reset this system. Okay, because it will reset means we are not getting exact number of the manufactured products. So that is the reason. Here you can see we are getting the output from UNB and our hooter is turned on here. So in order to turn off the hooter, press the reset switch and don't forget to release it. Right? So this is how you can use the down counter. Actually, this is the operation of the down counter is just for your understanding purpose. Right? So in the upcoming session, we are going to discuss about the projects. That is the very important part. In that case, we are directly using the down counter. So in next session, I will tell you how to use down counter in the project. Thank you.